Ah! 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 Check. Check. Hot then. What's up? Back at it again on the Sanity Trance for another time in a long time. I'm sure everybody been living life. Me too. Doing the thing, trying to get better. For all sorts of reasons, but mostly those are all side effects. We're just really just existing and continuing. Hopefully with a lot more conviction than not, right? But anyway, today, I've got a bunch of ideas. Because of that, right? Like, haven't been here for a while about it. But yeah, anyway, today I thought I'd talk about something I'm calling the reward gap. I think this is like really the beginning of being able to say no to anything, to create the gift of delayed gratification and all that. But for now, we're just gonna call it the reward gap because it's so much more than just saying that, than delayed gratification or saying no. It's like that. That's one of those things that literally takes time for you to appreciate. So it's like, if you want that, then restrain from that for a little bit or whatever. But anyway, back to the reward gap. I was noticing, in my process of practicing and working and teaching and just kind of the cycle of doing gigs and studio work and stuff, and just understanding that it was all just a series of tasks. Like, to me, it's like I just breathe music, so it doesn't really ever stop being music, no matter what aspect of it we're talking about that may seem to have nothing to do with something else. I've learned they're all connected, but it's kind of obvious when it all has to do with music too, so whatever, right? Anyway, this reward gap, though, this is what you do when you finish a task or you find yourself daydreaming within a task. Anyway, either of these points, it's like they're like checkpoints for a decision, and you have to decide to focus on something, because if you don't, it'll decide for you, and then then you're on autopilot all over again until your next checkpoint, when you come out of that or you finish a task and you find yourself wondering what to do next, and that's the gap. And I'm calling it the reward gap because it's like these intersections that decide who we become as people, physically and spiritually, all that stuff. It's all, interdimensionally tied together based on how we're feeling in the first place. If you don't feel anything less than inspired and grateful and creative, all these things, then there's levels of stress that are kind of holding you back or coming from who knows where, right? Like, it's all valid if it's there. But each time you decide what to do with anything is a gap, and what you fill that gap with, decision-wise, whatever it is, your brain's gonna treat it like it's a reward of a sort. Like, it may not like the reward. You might give it like, let's go take a lap to celebrate, something like that, but it doesn't really change how we seem to wire it. It's like we're always being conditioned the whole time. You want to say we've been conditioned to this and this, and we're not like that anymore or whatever, but it's like that's a decision too that's going to condition you to be another way. It's like these patterns, there's a pattern to breaking patterns, and there's a pattern to seeing all that over time too. Even that whole approach is a pattern of a sort. But what you decide to do with it will condition you further to be able to decide for yourself really consciously and easily, instead of turning it into some kind of struggle that it really isn't. As long as you feel you're at your best and you're doing the best you can with what you got, you're pretty much winning. You'll be all right. Find a way through it. But that's been super cool for me, because it's like I noticed I'm kind of conditioning. I guess I've kind of conditioned myself over the last several years to kind of be one of those people that's like, all right, let's go practice this to celebrate or whatever. It's like, into my mind, I know I don't want to do that, of course, but then there's also this part of me that's like, it's like Steve-O from Jackass or something that's just willing to do whatever and knowing it's going to be ridiculous, but doing it for the fun of it. You know, it's like a suicidal approach to practicing without all of the gross stuff. You know, I'll just leave it there. But anyway, yeah, it's like that. That's my mind's reward gap, you know, and I've noticed in other times whenever I'll do something else that because of the way I've done that, conditioned myself to constantly be hungry for more information and enjoy the process and be excited to do it again each time I decide, you know, it's just focus decisions, right? Like, and all this is attention span maintenance, trance maintenance, you know? But yeah, that's been an epic thing. This is how anything starts, right? Like, you have to be really careful to notice your vices, because these are also, this is where they live, you know? And if you can see that where those vices exist, if they're necessary, if they give you whatever they're giving you, you know, it's like you're gonna get what you get. You get what you pay for, right? But like, if you don't schedule that for yourself on what to do with that little space in between your life, your daily tasks and stuff, then this will actually, this might drive you in a direction you haven't planned on going, just because you haven't decided where you're going that hard, you know? It's like, you know, and there's a gift to all of these places. You know, there's nothing bad really about the word disposition. It's just unfortunate that it starts with dis, you know, makes people think that it's a bad thing or something, but like, it's really just saying another chair on the planet, nothing more, nothing less, you know, but you have to respect that. It's just as useful as the chair you sit in now, you know, perspective-wise, because I know some of y'all might be like, I don't know, running, I don't know, maybe somebody's doing American Ninja Warrior stuff to this, who knows? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, whatever, right? But yeah, you know, it's like you have to be super conscious about how you reward yourself. Be it, you know, let's go play some video games for a second, or let's have some of this stuff over here. Let's go. I don't know. It's just like all these ideas are, you know, just be careful with the way you let that you reward yourself, right? Because it's like there's even a balance to doing that, and not to mention like the leverage you can get from delayed gratification, right? Like that's something that shouldn't be looked past. But anyway, that's really the most epic thing I've really been thinking about when it comes to growth lately. So it's like, you know, figured I'd get this one down and just see if I can find some footage for it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, y'all. Much love. I'll throw more up as soon as the universe allows. But yeah, I give you my best. I expect the same. Peace, y'all.